Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Jake the Human, and these are my overall thoughts on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk about how I felt about the game. This isn't a review per se, it's more of a casual overview of what I thought about the game as a whole. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to mention is there are two things they did in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, very subtle things that really changed up the game, and I'm pretty impressed. The return of double items is a lot of fun, and the addition of the new pink sparks while drifting is awesome. Both of these things are really subtle, but they make you come up with different strategies while you're playing the game, and it made the game feel a hell of a lot newer than it actually is. I was also pleasantly surprised to find out that playing with the Joy-Con sideways, at least with the strap attached, isn't actually terrible. I do think it's better to have both in a grip or have a Pro Controller, but playing like this is a totally viable way to play, which I think is really important for that Switch dynamic of being able to pick up and play multiplayer Mario Kart wherever you are. What else? Let's talk about the new characters. Honestly, I like all of the new additions. Drybones, awesome returning character. I don't really have much to say about him, but he's a cool character, and he's been in previous Mario Karts, and I'm glad to have him back. Bowser Jr. is kind of the same way. I don't think I'm ever going to play as Bowser Jr., but he was one of the notable exclusions from the original game, especially when you have all 7 other Koopalings, and Bowser, and Dry Bowser. But I was happy to see him return in some of my races. That was cool. He should have been in the game from the start, so I'm glad to see him back. King Boo! I love King Boo. And I remember back in the original Switch reveal trailer, there was that very short clip of a new Mario Kart game, and nobody knew if it was a port. We all thought it was a port. We were right. Or if it was Mario Kart 9, but King Boo was in it, and so we knew there was something off, and it was so cool to see that they revealed him that way. Luigi's Mansion is one of my favorite games of all time, so he's a very welcome addition in my opinion. I do wish Nintendo would have given him his Luigi's Mansion design though, or at least maybe as an alternate skin or something, because while this design isn't bad, it's fine, I just prefer the cool jewel crown and the creepy purple eyes. Let's get this out of the way. Gold Mario. Luckily, Gold Mario turned out not to be his own separate character like I thought he was and be a total waste of a slot, but he's actually a palette swap for Metal Mario. That being said, as much as I don't really care about Gold Mario, it is kind of upsetting that the only unlockable character turned out to just be a palette swap. Lastly, we have the Inklings, and I love them. I think they're awesome guest characters, and they fit really well in the Mario Kart world, actually. Oh, and the Splatoon sound effects that come with them are really great too. I also love the attention to detail Nintendo took with the Splatoon content in this game. Not only is there Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy, but they all have different colored hair to choose from, and they're not just hair swaps, they're eye swaps, skin color swaps, different clothes. It's really cool. And along with them came a new kart, the Splat Buggy. I love the Splat Buggy. There's this little ink tank on the back of it that changes color depending on your Inkling's hair color. And on this specific vehicle, anytime you get a boost, whether it's from a boost pad or a trick or mushrooms or whatever, instead of shooting out flames out of the engine like it normally does, it shoots out ink. And I think that's such a cool touch. I love the Splatoon content in this game. Overall, I do like all the new character additions, but I do think there are still a couple noticeable characters missing from this roster. Okay, on to the tracks. There are no new tracks in this game, which is a bit of a bummer, but I get it. There's almost 50-some tracks in this game, and that's a lot. There's a lot more than any other Mario Kart game ever. But I did already play all of these on the Wii U pretty extensively. I'm not too upset about it though, because the tracks in Mario Kart 8 are some of the best in the entire series in my opinion. And they're beautiful. Honestly, the whole game is gorgeous. Which, I should mention, I wasn't entirely sure what the graphical difference would be between the Wii U Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, but I am happy to say that the graphics in Deluxe are noticeably better than on the Wii U. Oh, and the frame rate. In the original game, if you're playing 1 or 2 player, it ran at 60 frames per second. But if you had a 3rd or a 4th player, the game dropped to 30 frames per second, and it was a bit jarring and pretty noticeable. And it wasn't like it became unplayable or anything. It was just a bit of a bummer because some of the beauty of Mario Kart 8 got lost in those moments. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe though, it seems to run at 60 frames per second, or at least really close to that, no matter how many players you add, and I think that's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the biggest selling point of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the battle mode. Overall, it's a welcome addition, and yes, I say addition because in Mario Kart 8, the battle mode was essentially non-existent. That being said, I've always enjoyed races over battles anyway, so it's not a huge selling point for me, but I did enjoy it. The battle stages, in my opinion, are all honestly pretty good, and I think the inclusion of Urchin Underpass was brilliant. But the stages are nothing without the modes to play on them, right? Balloon Battle. You know Balloon Battle. It's the classic tried and true mode where you get an item and you try to pop each other's balloons. And while it's never really been unfun, I don't think it's much of a standout compared to the other modes in the game. Bob-omb Blast is essentially Balloon Battle, but the only items available to you are Bob-ombs. While I did have more fun with this mode than the normal Balloon Battle, it does get a little overly hectic at some points. Coin Runners is my second favorite battle mode in the game. It's super easy to understand. Have the most coins when time runs out. Everyone drives around collecting coins, and if you hit an opponent with an item, you can zoom on by and collect them. This mode is fast-paced and exciting, and I really enjoy its return in Deluxe. Shine Thief. Shine Thief. Personally, don't really care for Shine Thief. The premise of this one is pretty simple. Capture the shine and hold on to it for as long as you can. The problem is that this is extremely hard to do. If I take an item and I hit the person with the shine, I should get the shine and be able to go on my merry little way. What actually happens is I hit somebody with a shine and it drops amongst way too many people who immediately grab it and go flying off. I can't even tell you how many times I was the person to hit the shine out of somebody, only to have it grabbed by somebody else before I could even come close. It's extremely frustrating. And even after I finally got the shine, I had it for a grand total of 3 seconds before it got knocked out of me and taken by somebody else. I get why some people may like this mode. I just personally don't ever see myself saying, "Hey everybody, let's go play some Shine Thief, it's gonna be awesome." Because I don't really like it. Now the only brand new battle mode, and immediately my favorite, was Renegade Roundup. It's essentially a game of cops and robbers, and the cops have piranha plants on the front of their carts that they need to capture the robbers with. Once eaten, the robber is teleported into one of the giant floating cells across the map. The robbers can bust each other out though by hitting a switch underneath the cell. If the cops capture all of the robbers within the time limit, they win. If the robbers evade the cops for the time limit, they win. It's an easy to understand, fast-paced battle mode, and I love it. Now, while I personally don't care for battle mode in general, I think people who really do enjoy battle mode are going to absolutely love it in Deluxe. Okay, so let's talk about online. I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. Overall, I think it's really good. I never ran into any issues with lag or frame rate drops or anything of that nature. I do wish, though, that there was more choice involved. Now, I don't mind the random few tracks to choose from. In fact, I think that's actually a really smart move. However, it also randomly chooses the CC you're going to race in. Unless I totally missed something, which please, if I did, let me know where I can find it in the comments. But I would have loved an option to say pick 150cc and race other people who picked 150cc instead of having it randomly selected for me. That same problem carried over to the battle mode though, where I think it was a little more detrimental to my enjoyment of the online experience. Because it also randomly chooses the battle mode you're going to play. Now, the problem there is if I go online and I want to play Renegade Roundup, which I love, and I get stuck playing Shine Thief over and over and over again, I don't want to play it anymore. That kind of sucks. Unless I miss something. Please, if I'm dumb and I miss something and I don't know what I'm talking about, you let me know, okay? Now, like I said, overall though, online is really, really good. It's just a couple minor things I would like to see addressed in a patch or something. Now the last thing I wanted to talk about was a DLC. I think it would be really, really smart of Nintendo to release more DLC for this game. And they can do it the same way they did with the original. 2 packs, each with 2 cups, 2 characters, and 2 carts. Now I'm not going to get into track ideas because who knows, but I do want to talk about characters. I would love to see Captain Falcon in this game because I think it would be hilarious. Imagine the tricks. He does like a Falcon punch in the air, or he jumps out of his cart, show me your, ow, God, ow. Show me your moves. Wouldn't that just be awesome? I'm really dizzy and out of breath. I also think Diddy Kong needs to be in this game because he feels like kind of an odd exclusion from the original roster in the first place, and I think seeing him would make a lot of people happy, myself included. Professor Egad would make an awesome character too. Now lastly, I don't want this to turn into Super Smash Kart. I really, really don't. But I can't help but think about how awesome a Kirby pack would be. Add Kirby with a bunch of different colors to choose from in a Warp Star cart, and add King DDD with a wheelie bike. They would look awesome in this game, and I feel like they'd be immediate fan favorites to play as. So overall, even though I own the original game on the Wii U, including all of the DLC, the added characters, battle mode, and portability make me very happy to own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Okay, so that's it guys. Those are my overall thoughts on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Have you played the game? Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me me a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to be the first to know when I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.